Morning. You know, I'm going to say thank you in the beginning because so many presentations you say thank you at the end. I'm going to say thank you in the beginning because I want to thank the AMS and I want to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to cap off a journey, a personal journey that really took the better part of the last 2 years, and capping it off today, kind of sharing an experience that's not just a personal experience, but I think an experience that we in this room can all relate to and maybe experience themselves. So, I'm going to start you off with an opening word from somebody I respect and admire.
Hi, I'm Ron Childers, the Chief Meteorologist at WMC Action News 5 in Memphis. I've been very fortunate in all my years. I've been with this television station since 1986. I know it's unheard of in this day and time in our business. But when I got into the business many years ago, someone very wise and who also had been in the business for a long time told me, Ron, there's two kind of people in our business. Those who've been fired and those who will be. That's something we all have to keep in mind. And yes, there is an expiration date on each and every one of us.
No, actually, as many of you can see, very, very realistic. So I learned that you can do everything right and still fail. Actually, I'm wrong. You can do everything right and still think you failed. And that is something I learned very, very hard as we went into the last couple of years. So all of this is driven by fear. Fear, of course, an unpleasant, often strong emotion caused by anticipation and awareness of danger. In our business, what we're fearing and what we always hear about, not getting renewed, getting fired, and of course, not having a job in television. And why do we worry about that? Well, the career impacts, because we're not in finance, we're not in nursing, we're not in medical, we can't branch out as much as a lot of other careers. And if you're in television, that is a very, very specific career path. In fact, there's a large percentage of people that do what we do in this room right now. Of course, the financial impacts, so you need to pay the bills, and because we're on TV, the ego impacts, because everybody has at least a little bit of ego impact. So my journey begins in 1986 with this. Is there anybody in this room that doesn't know what that is? Yeah. Like every one of you, or most of you I would think, it took a specific event, a specific movie, or a specific image that made you just interested in weather. And for me, it was the Wizard of Oz. The color kicked in. I didn't care about the rest of the movie. I thought it was weird. I just wanted to see it. By 2003, I was interning, Sam Champion, WWC New York. I'm from New York City. It was a dream come true. Less than a year later, I was in Casper, Wyoming with a terrible haircut, a terrible billboard on the side of the car wash. I was still great. A year and a half later, I had a dream opportunity to go to Wichita, Kansas, which, as you know, is like the creme de la creme of severe weather markets. Dave Freeman was my chief meteorologist. We covered the Greensburg tornado in 2007, and that was like the coming of age for me. It was unbelievable to work and see a town of 1,100 people that was 1.25 miles wide get completely hit by a tornado that was 1.5 miles wide. At some point, that entire little town was inside of a tornado. After everything was kind of done, we powwowed a little bit, and I had a discussion with Dave about the business and a little bit about what kept him going for all the years that he was there.
At that time, Andrew was early in his career, and we talked a lot about how important it was to stay in a learning mode. About the worst thing that you can do in this business is stand pat, to become complacent. You really have to constantly be learning and improving the meteorology and also improving your communication skills. In this day, with the advanced measurement techniques that are being employed, it's more important than ever that we stay in a learning mode and stay hungry, stay humble, come to work every day looking to say, how can I be better than I was yesterday? I think that's one of the most important things that I reflect on as I look back on my time in the business.
Very fortunate to know Dave. How many people know Dave in this room? Yeah. Not everybody knows his good teeth, but he's retired now and he's well. I'm so happy for him. And that's the advice that he followed even up to his last day. By 2010, I was in Tulsa doing more severe weather. By 2012, I was doing weather and co-hosting a morning show. It was fantastic. And then in 2014, I had an opportunity to take that to a slightly bigger market, have a better opportunity to earn a better salary. Everything was coming up Kozak. And then 2017 hit, and I got an email like this. Who's got an email like that before? Yeah, a couple of people. Some of you will get an email like that, as I've learned. We don't love seeing emails like that, but we all know what happens. I was not renewed. Because news directors are awesome, right? So sometimes they don't see eye to eye, they don't see the path that you're on, they don't see the same thing you see. So, when that hits you, what's going to happen? Who's going to hire somebody that didn't get renewed? What will I tell my wife? What will my friends think? Am I at fault? And most importantly, the question I ask myself is, this is the end, isn't it? I also learned it's not by a long shot. Not if you don't want it to be. Sure, you can leave the business and go into some really good career paths, but first, you gotta keep these type of feeling bad posts to a minimum. And of course, you got your social media. You got all the people asking, where'd you go? Where'd you go? It's okay. Make it short-lived and keep the sad attention speaking posts to a minimum, because that doesn't do good for anybody. Because you want to stay in the game, right? You want to make sure that you get back on your feet. Well, here's what I did, and here's some advice for me of you. Seek out radio opportunities first. It's the easiest thing you can do without leaving your living room, your bedroom, or whatever. It's very easy. Nowcast Weather is the place that I went to, and after the presentation, find me in the hallway or wherever, and I'll give you contact information. It's an opportunity to do weather from your home. Won't pay the bills, get a little bit of money for it. Requires a quick $50 investment, microphone from Best Buy, and it's an opportunity to forecast, keep fresh for all across the country. I was doing 3 forecasts a day for a couple of different zones in Florida, Massachusetts, even right outside of New York City, and up toward New Jersey. Next, hone your non-weather skills. We are all meteorologists, but we are also great at marketing, great at PR, and great at writing. Skills, of course, you need to keep up.
Hello, my name is Shannon Little, and I'm a freelance public relations professional here in Memphis, Tennessee. So last summer, when Andrew was in the middle of a transition, he reached out to me to see if there was any freelance opportunities that he could work with me on. It just so happened that I was in the middle of a busy season and I could have really used his help. So Andrew helped me with several social media campaigns for clients, as well as writing press releases and doing some database work for me on the PR side as well. I guess my takeaway for you is that building relationships in the studio is important, but building relationships outside of the studio is just as important too. And you never know when or how an opportunity will present itself. So always keep your network diverse and keep your eyes and ears open.
How many of you have morning shows where you have guests from around town or even celebrity guests coming in, things like that? Well, Shannon's the type of person, she represents some of them. So we're getting to know her. I reached out to her and was able to do some really interesting things. The first thing I did was I was writing press releases for a local bakery. It's actually really fun. It allowed me to keep creative. It was even fun going and tasting the things I was writing about. I also had a chance to write for StorePort, which was eye-opening. Everybody knows about human trafficking, or at least is aware of human trafficking. I didn't realize the cost and the amount of survivors that this company does. This nonprofit works toward helping women survivors in the state of Tennessee, and I was writing the press releases for them. So I learned a lot too, and I made some money. And at times, depending on how much time I put into it, which when you're freelancing or if you're on the beach, you have extra time, you can make a decent amount of money doing that. And of course, the creme de la creme of what you can do while you're searching for that next full-time gig, of course, and that is freelancing.
Hi there, I'm Albert Ramon. I'm the Chief Meteorologist here at KVUE in Austin, Texas. Andrew Kozak approached us well before we had an opening, well before we were in need for a fill-in person to create a relationship. Andrew told us what he was interested in doing, and when we had an opening and we needed some desperate help, we called on Andrew. So it was an easy contact, and that's what I encourage you to do, is no matter the market size, no matter the position, make a relationship with that particular TV station that one day maybe you want to do fill-in work at, or one day that's your dream station and you want to work there. Good luck to you all of them.
Why did I reach out to Albert? My in-laws live in Leander, right outside of Austin. So it was a perfect opportunity for me to reach out. I reached out to a bunch of people I met at conferences like this, and that is exactly how you can find out about freelancing work. It seems easier than said than done, but at the same time, there are opportunities out there that you may not know about. You don't know what's going on at stations. Nobody knew outside of my station that I was in that office after reading that email from my news director. Had we been in the process of trying to get a freelancer, maybe we would have had it. But it's happening all across the country now. Stations will pay you to come there and help them when they are in need, especially in markets that don't maybe have 3 or 4 people. They may have a little bit less. 2 people leave at once. You never know what happens in this business. So I was at KP for 5 months. It was great. I was at KCTV in Kansas City for 4 months after that, and continued to apply. I continued to apply. I interviewed all over the place. I kept my reel fresh. That is the most important thing. If you freelance, make sure you make friends with somebody that knows how to record everything that you do. Keep it fresh, get ready, and do your research. You can get an agent. Just make sure you read those contracts. They're worse than any TV contract. that you can have a lot of times. And of course, keep up your social media, because everything you do, and everything you do that's public, of course, is social media, a prospective employer is going to look at it. So again, it goes back to keeping those self-absorbed, sad, woe is me posts to a minimum. So at the end of all of this, I was on the beach for 13 months. 13 months without a full-time job. But it was because of the support that I had from my friends in the business. My wife, of course, who became the sole breadwinner pretty much. And the notion that, hey, this is the only thing I wanted to do. How many people, this is the only thing you ever really wanted to do? Yeah. So it was really hard coming to terms with the fact that you may not have the chance to do it. And as bad as things go, and as bad and cryptic as this business can be sometimes, we're not there yet. We're not there where there's just no opportunities. It eventually all paid off. In 2018, I interviewed at a place in Columbus, Ohio, a startup. I was back to doing what I wanted to do. I got back into a fantastic team, back in the game after thinking it was game over. Just took a lot of patience and perseverance. By the way, I have no doubt many of you have already gone through this. Some of you are about to go through this. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. When I was done in Memphis, I went and sold my house. I went back, and one of my good friends, one of a real good buddy of mine, who's a radio DJ, had me on as I kind of say goodbye to Memphis a little bit. It didn't exactly go, though.
But you did the weather.
Yes.
And then you were unemployed for like a year.
Why do you always bring up his unemployment?
What?
We all
And then he got a job.
got
He
it.
got a job. Now he had so much free time. Like, we would go to the gym and we'd be lifting weights and we would be crying during the weights. And I'm like, I'm just having a day. I was so close to convincing you to change your Instagram handle to @unemployedandrew. That would have been hilarious, but it was @Andrew Kozak TV, and you weren't really on TV. Big shout out to those guys. Thank you for giving my friend Andrew a job here.
That didn't go as planned. He's a big guy. In fact, he just got a job at radio with another game, and he just got a job in Dubai in the radio there. So. A closing word, not for me, but from the guy that opened it.
You don't give up. You persevere. You maintain positivity. You make as many connections as you possibly can. Reach out to other people. Stay positive. And remember, if this is something you love, never give up on it. You continue to pursue it, and great things will happen. And you can still have a very prosperous career.
And again, I want to thank all of you for allowing me to share my personal journey, because if it hasn't happened to you yet, it could in this business, but it doesn't mean it's over. And I thought it was over. I had people tell me it's over. This is your work. Get into the private sector. But if you continue to persevere, there are opportunities out there. And I believe if you really put your best foot forward, you make the connections and you do what you can. And of course, you save before this happens. Save before it happens. I should have put that in there, but that's the most important thing. Save for the rainy day, because you might need it. Thank you guys so much.